When you're at school, you're told specific things. For example, get really good grades, go to school, be on time, get a lot of sleep, and then you're going to be successful. But the problem with that is that you could get all of the grades in the world, but end up an incomplete person in the end. I was one of those students when I was in high school. I went to a selective high school. I studied really, really hard. I got high grades. I got a high ATAR, kind of a high ATAR. I got all of these things, but at the end, I really, really wish I did other things instead of just study. There were so many things that I wish I did, so many skills that I wish I developed before I actually went to university. The problem is that when you're in high school, you really don't know what you want to do. And the problem is that you aren't exposed to more things in the real world when you're actually there. You're doing all of these Pythagorean triads, you're doing all of these mitochondria as powerhouse of the cell. You're doing all of these really arbitrary things that don't really impact your life. Now, I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but it's true. There's a point to learning these things though. They are very, very important to learn. The thing that is most important to learn when you're in school is not the literal concepts. So Pythagorean triad, surds, indices, these aren't that important to learn at school. Yes, you need to know them for the exam. However, I can personally tell you that I've never used indices or Pythagoras' theorem in my daily life, but that doesn't mean it's not important to learn. When I was in high school, I thought that this was the most important thing that I had to learn. And so I thought once I had all of the things that I needed for the exam studied for, I can use the rest of that time to do whatever I want, which I spent playing games, watching movies, watching anime. I did all of these things that were really, really unproductive. And I can honestly tell you that I don't remember a single anime series that I watched. I don't remember a single game that I played. I remember the names of the games, but I don't remember exactly what happened in those games. And so honestly, I think it was the biggest waste of time that I had when I was in high school. I really regret not doing more extracurricular things that will actually develop me as a person. For example, doing debating to develop my public speaking skills, doing Duke of Ed to develop the grit and the sturdiness that you actually need for life, or taking chess, or taking all of these skills. Now, I didn't really see the value in these when I was in high school. And so as a result, when I went to university, I didn't do any of these extra clubs. I didn't do any of these extra things because I was like, there's no real point in doing these. The only thing that matters is my grades, going to class, getting all these high marks, and then leaving. I really missed out on a lot of opportunities not doing these things. And I think if I could go back and relearn these skills, I probably would. Now you might think, Matt, why don't you just develop these skills now? You're not too old, you can develop these skills. And you're right, I can develop these skills now. But I think when you're in high school, you can learn at such a faster rate than when you're a bit older. It's like trying to teach an old dog new tricks. They just won't learn. But when you're young, it's really, really easy to absorb all of this information all at once, and you can kind of pick up new skills. Like for example, when I was in high school, I learned French and German in the same year to a considerable level where I could read the alphabet, formulate sentences, regurgitate and understand and have a conversation with people. Obviously not to the best standard, but I did that all in a year. Now I can barely learn a particular skill over like 2 to 3 years. I really wish I did all of these extracurricular things. I wish I took cooking. Why do they not teach cooking inside of only boys' schools? Like why? It's such an important skill, and I really wish that I learned this while I was in high school. Right now, I'm okay at cooking. But realistically speaking, if I spent that time actually developing this certain skill, it would have been life-changing. Like, if I took cooking as a course, why don't they teach this thing? Like, seriously. Or how to make a budget, you know? Like... But here's the thing. Obviously, there's not enough time in the curriculum to teach these things. However, I wish I spent my time outside of class learning and doing these productive things. Now, you can only say this in hindsight. When you're younger, it sounds really, really good to play all of these games and waste all of your time because it's what everyone's doing, right? It seems like such a great thing to do, but I really regret doing it. I really wish I could go back and do different things. With that being said, if you guys are finding this video useful, I'd really appreciate if you left me a thumbs up. It really does help me out, and it spreads this video to more people so that they can see what I wish I learned while I was still in high school. And honestly speaking, if I learned a skill like coding when I was still in high school, maybe I would have stuck with computer science and not dropped dropped it in my first year of university. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I actually failed my first year at university. Make sure to check out the video right here after you're done watching this video. Now, I know that it's not too late to focus on learning skills rather than content. Honestly speaking, I just graduated university, so it might be a little too late making this realization, but hopefully this message reaches you. You see this video and you realize, damn, maybe I shouldn't play as many games. Maybe I should spend a little bit of time focusing on learning a new skill, because in the future, the most important thing is going to be the skills that you have if you want to transfer from different industries and move from different places. If you're interested in the video where I actually failed my first year at university, make sure to check out this video right here. Otherwise, you can check out all of my other videos right here with all of the playlists on how to be better every single day.